Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome back to Crypto Warehouse. My name is Mike, and today we are going to be looking at UniRouter. I hope you're doing well. I'm in the middle of a storm, so I hope you're all doing a lot better than I am. We're probably going to spend about an hour going through UniRouter. We're going to go through the startup section of GateIO. We're then going to go through the project itself. We're going to have a look at the website, the socials. We're going to go and have a look at the white paper, see what we can find out about UniRouter. I've had a look pre-stream, and all I can say is this is an impressive project. Now, I am just going to start the countdown. If you give me 1 second to do this, and then we will get underway. The reason I have a countdown, for those of you wondering, is that I try and keep I try and keep to an hour. Okay, that's why I have one. So I don't do it for any other reason than to keep track of where I am. So after 10 minutes, we should have done with the GateIO startup section. After half an hour, we should have done with the website and most of the white paper. And then we move on. Anyway, what we're going to go through today then, just to break it down a little bit more depth, we're going to go through the startup section of GateIO. Then we're going to go through the website, the white paper, the tokenomics, the roadmap, the team, and the socials. And at the very end, we do what I always do on these streams. I tell you, it's not snog, marry, and avoid. It's hold, it's buy, or it's sell. They are your three options, and I'm going to explain that in as much depth as possible. If you are new here, make sure you press the like and subscribe button. I am going to keep an eye on all of the chats. So if you have a message, drop it into chat and say hello. Let us know you are there. As I said, we are in the middle of a storm. There are flashes of lightning outside. And I really don't know where or what's going to happen. But anyway, let's get into it. And the chat box appears to have stopped working on the left-hand side. Never mind. Right then, let's get into it. For those of you that are watching on YouTube, or you have found us via X, you can join GateIO via the link that we have included. So if you've come via X, there is a link to join GateIO on X. There is also a link to join GateIO on our YouTube channel. If you go to the description beneath this video, if you're watching it on catch up, you will see the GateIO link. You need to come and join GateIO, okay? This is not a normal exchange. I am on about 6 or 7 different exchanges. I log into 2 exchanges on a daily basis. One of them is GateIO, and obviously I'm not going to tell you which the other one is, but GateIO is my first port of call every morning. I check some of my Ethereum, see how that's doing. I use my Ethereum to farm on startup mining, and of course, by holding GT tokens like I do, you are able to claim. Now, on the screen now, you log into GateIO, and you have all of these wonderful options. It looks like it is daunting. It is not. The two that you need to care about are the exchange, number 1, and number 2, the startup section. If you go to the startup section, here's one I prepared earlier, token launch and airdrop. What is this? This is where all of the new tokens on GateIO are listed. Now, there is startup mining and startup task, which we don't have any time to go through today, but we are going to take a look at one of them. Down here, you will see there are 2 current projects which are available to claim. One is AI Agent, and the one we're interested in is UniRouter. So the reason it's important to see that there's both. One says hold GT and claim for free. So if you hold at least 10 GT tokens, you have 1 share. If you don't, you get, I believe, a lucky draw. And if you have 20, 30 or 40, you get 2, 3 or 4. If you have a VIP level of 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, there is a scale of how many shares you get. I will click here. And this will tell me, or show me, should I say, the page which I'm going to talk you through now. And then we can get on with it. So I currently have a VIP of 4. I am aiming to get a VIP status of 5 in the near future when some more of my Ethereum unlocks. I will be able to claim 200 shares. I press this button, subscribe successfully. Now, what that means is when this countdown finishes, which is in 1 day and 19 hours, this token will be launched. You will receive those tokens in your spot account. Okay. Now, in some instances, depending on the tokenomics, you might get 3 or 0.3 or 3,000 or 3 million. That's irrelevant. It will have a monetary value attached to it. And some of these coins go up an awful lot. Some of these coins don't. We're going to have a look at the risk statement in a minute. So that is how you subscribe. Okay. Now, I am a VIP level 4, so I get 200 shares. If you have a VIP of 0, that means you don't really have a VIP status. Maybe you have $10 or $15 on the exchange. You have a VIP status of 0, you enter the lucky draw. A certain number of you will win free tokens. Then VIP 1 gets 20, 2 gets 40, 3 gets 100, 4 gets 200. I am going to, at some point in the very near future, be going from VIP 4 to VIP 5 because I like to farm these tokens. Some of them are excellent and are a long-term hold. Now, if you don't like these tokens, okay, and let's say you have panda memes and cat memes and dog memes and you don't like them and they're in your spot account, there is an option to select them all and convert them all into GT token, which is the GateIO token of its exchange. Okay, I've currently got 18.5, something like that. I am going to try and get to probably about 50 or 60 in the coming weeks as well. But that would give me 1 share for having 18, but 2 shares for getting 20. So it goes up every 10. In this instance, it's based solely on your VIP account. I get 200 shares. I'm aiming to get 400 shares of this token. Now, so let's get into the page that's on GateIO. We go down here and we have something which everybody should read to you. Now, I'm just making sure that this appears on the screen. No, I need to scroll it up so you can see it. I don't want it hidden behind there. Now, this is the risk warning. Now, for those of you who are new to crypto, who think everything is covered in rainbows and bells and whistles, it is not. Everything you invest in crypto has inherent risk. You could buy this token and it could go up 500%. You could buy this token, it could go down 80%. So my personal warning to you is do not invest more than you can afford to lose. If you have $10,000 on GateIO and you really like the sound of this project today, you should allocate maybe $100 or $50 to this project, a small allocation, because it's a brand new coin. The volatility will be incredibly high. Now, GateIO's risk warning is as follows. The startup project is still in its initial stage. Factors including the operation and underlying technology of the project and other related regulatory activities might contribute to significant risks. Advanced technical and financial knowledge is required to understand and evaluate the inherent risks of crypto asset investment. The volatility of the market is high and the price of token might fluctuate drastically due to technical, regulatory and marketing factors. Users may not be able to withdraw all the purchased tokens due to technical issues of the project on GateIO. There is your risk warning, okay? Please heed the risk warning. I see many people during the beginnings of this bull run starting to degen and ape into every token. That's not what this is about. Risk management and portfolio management is about understanding what percentage of your assets should be in what token. For example, 50% or 60% in Bitcoin is a conservative approach. 25% in Bitcoin, 25% in Solana and Ethereum is a slightly more aggressive approach. When you look at tokens like UniRouter or any other token for that matter, you shouldn't be putting in an awful lot of your portfolio because the risk is exponentially higher with this than it is with Bitcoin and Ethereum. It doesn't mean it's a bad project. It means you should carry out correct risk management. Now then, we have an introduction and we have Juno, the founder, down here. We'll have a quick look at this, but we are going to go and have a look at the website. Good. Hello, Hop, and good morning to you, Kishan. Now, this is a review of UniRouter. Most of you will not have heard of this project. It's actually an interesting project, so stay with it. Let me give you the introduction. UniRouter, backed by the B2 network, is transforming the Bitcoin ecosystem with innovative liquid staking solutions. By enhancing how Bitcoin assets are leveraged, UniRouter solves the liquidity puzzle, boosting the liquidity of assets across the Bitcoin primary layer, layer 1, and secondary layers, layer 2. Stake your Bitcoin on UniRouter and earn UBTC, a liquid asset thriving within the B2 network ecosystem, with a TVL of over $300 million. So this is not, already it's not a small project. Now, of course, there's inherent risk with synthesized versions of tokens, okay? You have WBTC, which is wrapped Bitcoin on the Ethereum blockchain. You have different versions of Bitcoin on Solana. Well, there's two different Bitcoins now on Solana. There is the one from Zeus, ZBTC, and there is another one from another exchange, which we're not mentioning the name of, which is CBTC. Be very careful. They can depeg, okay? So there's always a risk in holding a synthetic version of the asset. Juno is the founder and CEO, serial entrepreneur, a prime layer 1. Sorry, I can't read this text. A prime layer 1 core initiator. So again, we're going to go down here for the startup. 1.2 million euro is the supply. 100% unlock. The vision, which we'll go through, and again, the token economics will go through. All of this down here, we're going to go through. When we go through the website, which I think we should go and do now, we have held off long enough from going to look at UniRouter, and I know you are all desperate to see this website. One thing I will say is this website leaves a lot to be desired. Okay, this is not something I consider to be cool or hip or trendy. Okay, however, the message is clear: empowering Bitcoin. UniRouter introduces liquid staking, cross-chain asset transfers, and EVM-compatible messaging functionality to the Bitcoin network. EVM is the Ethereum virtual machine. SVM, the Solana virtual machine. It is a way of communicating to the Ethereum blockchain, to the Solana blockchain. That's all it is. So this could potentially allow DeFi projects on Ethereum and the layer 2s to interact directly with UniRouter. Anyway, so we have a little bit of bump down here we'll go through. Let's make it a little bit bigger so we can all see. So why would you want to use UniRouter? It's novel solutions for the Bitcoin ecosystem. It catalyzes increased liquidity and diverse use cases. This text is terrible. Use cases for participants within the Bitcoin ecosystem, solving the liquidity puzzle. UniRouter LSD liquid staking solutions transfer the new Bitcoin assets are leveraged. This is so bad to read. Enhancing liquidity of assets across Bitcoin layer 1 and layer 2 networks. Why have they gone for such a terrible light grey text on a white background? This is so much easier to read. This is impossible to read. Fostering cross-ecosystem growth and bridging the Bitcoin EVM gap. Now let's take a breather, okay? Have a sip of tea, and then we should carry on. So then, there's a roadmap down here, which we are not going on to yet because we want to look at the tokenomics. Let's look at the mission statement, however. UniRouter is setting a new standard in the utilization of Bitcoin assets, comprising users, stakers, validators, node operators, cross-chain dApps, and more. We're developing solutions to massively expand upon the Bitcoin ecosystem. And in all fairness, we need this. Bitcoin is 60% of the entire crypto ecosystem. 60%, almost 2/3 if you go off the actual chart where it's 61% at the minute. Almost 2/3 of the ecosystem is in Bitcoin. What percentage of DeFi has Bitcoin? Hardly any. You have layer 2s, yes. You have stacks, you've got the Lightning Network, you've got many things. But in terms of actual building, there's really not a lot there. So we need more solutions for Bitcoin and tapping into Bitcoin. We've seen Cardano announce this week, or last week, sorry, that they're going to partner with Bitcoin OS. Cardano is coming for Bitcoin. The Zeus network, which is built, I believe it's called Apollo, over on Solana, that is coming for Bitcoin. So you need these solutions, and you don't need one, you need many. And potentially UniRouter is one of those solutions. Now, we're going to look at the roadmap in a little bit, but first we're going to go and have a look at the white paper. Now, unfortunately, there doesn't appear to be a dark mode for this white paper, being that it's called the white paper. So we're going to make it as big and easy to read as possible on your screen, because I know it is a pain reading this. So again, we are not going to go through every single thing in this roadmap. That's not what we do. We pick out the salient points. We give you what we think are the salient points, and then you make your decision at the end. And of course, I will give you my personal opinion on this at the end as well. So don't go anywhere. We're going to be done in about 40 minutes time. I need to go and start that timer again, don't I? It stopped. This is what happens when you have lightning in the house. It scares all the technology. Give me 1 second. So 43, 40. There we go. Now, is that going to start? There we go. Okay, we are now back in the game. So the Bitcoin ecosystem. With the Bitcoin ecosystem experiencing exponential growth in 2023, market focus has initially revolved around asset issuance, protocols, and scaling solutions. Now, don't forget, of course, this was probably written towards the end of 2023 and is probably already out of date. Not a good sign for the first sentence of the first page of the white paper. UXTO, which is a key indicator of activity on the Bitcoin network, has risen steeply since the inception of the Ordinals protocol. This suggests rising user numbers and overall a growing ecosystem. My argument against this will be that when retail comes to crypto, they will not go directly to Bitcoin. They will go via the exchange you're watching on now, which is GateIO. They will have the GateIO app, and they will simply transact on the GateIO app. They will not get into Ordinals, in my humble opinion. However, interoperability between Bitcoin, Solana, and Ethereum, and Cardano, and even XRP, that is required in the future. We will need that. But for me, when retail comes, Ordinals, it's not for retail, okay? That's what we've got to understand. Retail push the bags higher. Retail will bring lots of users. Maybe some of them will spill over into DeFi and start to experience Solana, Bitcoin, Ethereum, yes. But on the whole, the price goes up because retail buys through GateIO. That's it. Right then. So the problem statement. Beyond technological innovation, the Bitcoin ecosystem relies on the involvement of various market players, including individual investors, investment institutions, exchanges, and miners. As the Bitcoin ecosystem expands, so too must the protocol and platforms built within it. Totally agree. There are various pain points holding back. Insufficient asset liquidity is by far the biggest problem with Bitcoin, okay? You can trade spot, yes. You can trade leverage, yes. You can do these things with Bitcoin, but staking your Bitcoin is not possible because it's proof of work. So you need a DeFi solution. And to have a DeFi solution, you need to have the technology, the underlying technology to allow for a DeFi solution to be built. And maybe it's not built on Bitcoin, maybe it's on Cardano, maybe it's on Solana, maybe it's on Ethereum. We're not arguing that point. We're talking about the fact that you need the underlying code to make everything work. Inscriptions assets on both the BRC20 and ARC20 lack liquidity, as current marketplaces are unable to offer the depth and trading experience. I totally agree with that. Paolo Bonetti, hugs from the Fortune Favours the Brave on Kronos community. Good afternoon to you, sir. And of all the people to pop in here and say hello, congratulations on the massive roadmap for Kronos. The massive roadmap. Once the money comes into Crow, it's going to filter down into the ecosystem. And Fortune Favours the Brave is one of the very first ones we did on one of our very first Kronos nights. Maybe one day we might even see Kronos bridge across to Bitcoin through UniRouter, because of course we now have Kronos is built on the EVM, and now we have tools like UniRouter. It might not be too difficult to connect Kronos directly to Bitcoin. So the liquidity is a massive problem. The immature ecosystem you can apply to absolutely anything, okay? Solana, Ethereum, Bitcoin. We're still early, and you will hear people say this all the time, we're still early, but we are. We are so early. We have what, maybe 500, 1 billion people in crypto. What's the population? 8, 7, of which maybe 4 billion will possibly have an interest in crypto. So on the adoption curve, I still think we're quite early. And in terms of development, we still don't have a singular wallet that works for all chains. We still don't have a singular liquidity solution for all the chains. If you want money on Ethereum, sending it from Solana is a pain. If you want to tap into the Bitcoin ecosystem, say you've got a Bitcoin and you want to earn a yield on it, 2 or 3% yield, you can't do that at the minute. So there's lots of things that aren't built that you don't realize aren't built because everything's moving so quickly you don't understand what's missing. But we don't have DeFi in Bitcoin. We don't have a way to tap into 62% of the total market cap of crypto. And if you sit back and think about that for a minute, that's actually quite an amazing thing. Ethereum is going great guns, okay, with its layer 2s and its DeFi solutions over there and its DEXs, whatever. Solana going great guns. Massive DeFi, massive memes, meme culture going on over there. What's Bitcoin doing? We've had the ordinals, we've got runes, yes, we have all of these things, but they're really not that easy to touch. They're really not that easy to get involved with. So we need more liquidity. And for me, that comes from a more mature ecosystem. It doesn't mean it's going to solve the problem. The use cases come with the solutions like UniRouter. That's where you get the use cases. If you want to offer mobile phones and mobile phone subscriptions in your town or city, you need a mobile phone network building. If you want to offer a DeFi solution on a blockchain, you need the underlying services to be available to offer that, the contracts, the smart contracts and things. You need that to be available. Bitcoin at the minute just doesn't have it all in place. So there is a lack of LSD platforms on Bitcoin. Liquid staking. We've talked about liquid staking on here so many times. We've talked about Marinade. They've offered their own liquid staking. Jupiter's got its own liquid staking. You can go and look at, I think it's Cloud, who actually produce the LST's liquid staking tokens. So liquid staking is a future, but it comes with inherent risk. Liquid staking is normally 1-for-1, unless you have a value appreciation version of the token, which does exist, but it can depeg. Don't forget that. So there's no reliable, solid solutions for Bitcoin holders in order for the Bitcoin ecosystem to continue to rapidly grow. And again, it's quite easy to do this because you wrap your Bitcoin and then you move your Bitcoin onto a layer 2 that allows for liquid staking yields, borrowing and lending, okay? And yes, you then earn a yield on your Bitcoin, but what you're giving up is you're giving up the ownership of the underlying Bitcoin. And that's the risk on every blockchain with every liquid staking token. And you cannot get away from that risk. However you want to polish it or make it shiny, a synthetic wrapped version of Solana is still not Solana. That Solana is held by the issuer of the liquid staking token. In this instance, the Bitcoin solution is not the actual Bitcoin. As long as you have that point in your head when you're reading this, that's the single biggest risk to this. The vulnerability of a depeg from your Bitcoin that you hold 1-for-1 with a synthetic or a wrapped version or a liquid staking version of that token. So the collaboration with leading protocols already built on Bitcoin will result in a win for all involved. The LSD solution integrations, we know about that. Key roles, users and stakers. Obviously, those are the people with the Bitcoins. UniRouter validators, they're the people who will be receiving rewards for running the nodes, I would imagine. Oh, no, they're separate. Sorry, you've got the validators and the node operators. They handle the infrastructure, okay. So the deep inside of things. And then the staking validators, these are... Now, what was interesting about this, I've said this quite a few times, about Charles Hoskinson has talked a lot about using staked Cardano to validate and secure other blockchains. And in return, you get a fee. You get paid by that blockchain for using your ADA to validate it. And in black and white, written down on a piece of paper, there's absolutely no reason why you can't do that. If you think about it, if you've got $100,000 worth of Bitcoin, why can't you lock it somewhere and then use the value within it to validate, say, Solana? And what that would do is that would pay you, say, 6% in Solana, which, using the mechanisms such as this, that could automatically be converted back into Bitcoin. So you're not lending out your Bitcoin, you're using your Bitcoin to validate the Solana blockchain, and in return, you're receiving a 5 or 6% APR, maybe 4% after the DeFi platform has taken its cut, but you'd be getting a 4% APR on your Bitcoin. But of course, it has to be wrapped, and therefore it's not the original version. So then you've got the Bitcoin EVM bridge. This closes the gap between the Bitcoin ecosystem and the Ethereum virtual machine chains, specifically focusing on Bitcoin inscriptor assets such as atomicals and ordinals. By offering a secure and reliable cross-chain bridge solution, connecting the Bitcoin inscriptor assets to EVM ecosystems, bridging atomicals and ordinals to EVM will be the first stage. Okay, then we don't need to go into any more technical. We're trying not to do a technical stream. We're trying to give you an overview of the project. And we are trying to do that in a reasonable amount of time without overrunning. So then, let's move on very quickly. Why UniRouter? It goes beyond a bridge for Bitcoin and EVM assets. It makes Bitcoin greater as ever. Makes greater Bitcoin. Okay. As Bitcoin ecosystems evolves with fast user acquisition, we have found out some pain points. And again, we've already talked about all of them, so we don't need to talk about that. We can now move back down and probably do the tokenomics first. Tokenomics is the next one on the list. We don't want to spend too long on the technical side of things. That's not really why we are here. For those of you interested, licorice and cinnamon. That's my tea of choice for today's stream. So the Euro tokens power the UniRouter ecosystem with sustainable business model and use cases, which is what we always want to see. There we go. Future validator fees. When Router Chain is launched, we will enable the validator program, welcoming partners and all users to contribute and earn. Rewards in the form of Euro tokens will be paid to validators who stake certain quantities of Euro tokens. Revenue sharing model. As a decentralized cross-chain solution, UniRouter introduces the unique revenue sharing model with every shareholder and user involved in the continuous building of UniRouter ecosystem. Bridging fees in the form of Euro tokens can be earned by contributing, such as product use, token staking, and more. Now then, this is probably going to be quite a large... you know what we're going to do? We're going to do this two sides, okay? We're not going to do this in one go. We're going to do this in two sides. Right then. So, before we even begin this, we always like to see 60 to 70% of the tokens going to the community and 20 to 30% of the tokens going towards the team and the VCs. So roughly 2/3, 1/3. kind of rule of thumb we go for this. So the mining is 28.8%. That is going to be there for 8 years. 8 years. Wow. Ecosystem incentives, 2% airdrop and ecosystem incentives unlocked at token generation event with monthly linear vesting over 3 years. So already we're at 54%, give or take. 10% to the team, totally fine. 0 unlocked at TGE, Cliff for 6 months with monthly linear for 3 years. Again, very solid. Validator program, 10%, 0 unlocked at TGE, Cliff for 12, monthly linear over 96 months. Wow, that is some going. Initial liquidity provision, 10%. That's for the centralized exchange like GateIO. Monthly linear vesting over a year and a half. Again, that is perfectly fine. Advisors get 5%, fine. Private round, fine. Treasury, 5%, fine. Public round, 1.2. That is also fine. This is a really, really solid set of tokenomics. The way to look at this is the advisors and the private round, they are getting 10%. The team is getting 10%. So you could argue that this is actually 80-20. And that the team, the advisors and the seed round at 21% is nothing. It really isn't. I think having the mining, the ecosystem incentives, the liquidity provision, and the treasury, I think this is a really solid roadmap. A really solid set of numbers. Okay, really solid set. And we don't need to read more about the tokenomics. How long have we got left? 28 minutes. We've actually got quite a lot of time. Right, so one thing that we are going to talk about is the team, but the next thing we're going to look at is the roadmap. And for this, we should probably, we'll do it on here. We'll do it on here. So UniRouter goes way beyond a cross-chain solution, but will elevate ourselves into a platform supporting cross-chain applications. So between December and March this year, ARC20 and BRC20 and more inscription assets dual bridge mainnet launch completed. That is done. Q2, so April, May and June this year. Router chain launch on incentivized testnet. Liquid staking launch on partner layer 1's, layer 2's testnet. UniRouter user acquisition and growth. That was all penned for the first, for Q2. Q3, which is July, August and September. Support pub sub with smart contract enabled, Bitcoin restaking with partners, e.g. Babylon and liquid staking mainnet launch. And then Q4, we're in now, October, November and December. UniRouter multi-chain deployment and collaborations with various ecosystems, Router chain mainnet launch. And then next year, trustless indexer network launch and continuous ecosystem development. Always stuck on the end, that one. Continuous ecosystem development is always crammed into the end. And I don't say that facetiously. What I mean is that might be the end of the roadmap, but it's not the end of development. And what is likely to happen is when we get towards Q1 next year, the next roadmap will be released. That's what normally happens. Lots of projects will have a roadmap for a year or 2 or 3. The ones that have a 6 or 12-month roadmap, they normally do it each year. So you can see that this is going to be something that comes out probably within the next 3 months. And releasing roadmaps every year or every 6 months, it's more than just keeping your cards close to your chest. It's also a little bit to do with bullishness. We looked at the Kronos chain 2 weeks ago. No, maybe a week ago. And they've just released their new roadmap. And the price went up 40 or 50%. Okay, why? Because the roadmap included a lot of things that people wanted. This roadmap includes getting the project live. The next stage after getting it live is to look at what can it do next. If it's already connected to the Ethereum virtual machine, what's stopping it being connected to the Solana virtual machine? What's stopping it tapping into Solana? Absolutely nothing. So if the roadmap for next year comes out in February or March and it includes a roadmap for connecting to the SVM, what do you think is going to happen to the price of UniRouter? it's probably going to go up quite substantially. So it's not a bad thing to just have a 12-month roadmap at all. Right then, the next on this list is the team isn't listed. Right, let me check the website for the team. Let's see if they are there. If not, that will be a big red X against this project, but we shall see. Right then, so I did not see any sight nor sound of the team on here. Let's see if there is a blog post about the team. Let's get that to fit on the screen so you can see it. Right, there doesn't seem to be any mention of the team anywhere. Okay, so what we like to see, let's go back to where we were. What do we like to see? We have probably 3 or 4 flags that we have, green flags and red flags. The tokenomics are absolutely spot on. That's a green tick or a green flag. The roadmap, again, it's not the most extensive roadmap I've ever seen. Still gets a green tick because they've done the majority of it and the token generation event is about to happen or has happened. And therefore, we could probably go and have a look at Euro in a minute. Go and have a look at CoinMarketCap, or sorry, CoinGecko, and see what we've got there. So roadmap is fine. The problem they're trying to solve, which is a big one, is fine. The revenue generation model is fine. They do not have their list of team members. That is not fine, okay? There is no reason they should not have the team. Now, they have got the audit, so we will have a look at the audit in a minute, and we'll have a look at the tutorials. But let's very quickly go over to CoinGecko, and we're going to go and have a look at Euro, I think it's called. Okay. Let's see if it is listed on here. There is no listing of Euro token. There's no, I don't mean it'll be listed for trading. I mean, there isn't a placeholder for the token. That's what I mean. Is it this one? Is this the token? This should be the preview page about the token. There we go, 1.2, yes. Okay, so it's got the website on there. It doesn't really have anything else on the project. Okay, that's fine. I thought it might have maybe a list of something elsewhere. So there's no team listed on here. It isn't the end of the world, but it is, I mean, I would want to see the team front and center on a project like this. That's just my opinion. If this was a meme coin, it wouldn't bother me so much, but it's not. It's an actual decent project with solid possibilities. It's got a really good problem that it's solving, and it seems to have done the majority of the work. It's just now getting the project live. So we shall move on, because we cannot talk about the team. So very quickly then, let's look at the audit. The other thing about this is when you do a deep dive, what's important to realize about a deep dive is nobody does it. So I'm one of the unfortunate people that when they do a deep dive, we do a deep dive and we go deep and we find everything we can find out about the project. So as I've just shown you with the white paper, there's no team. There's no team listed, okay? They've not completed that section. There's another section on there, I can't remember which one it was now. That's not been completed either. So the white paper is there for a reason, to show you as much as they can about the project. They haven't done it. So that's why I'm saying it's a red flag. Now this audit report, again, you've got to look back to see when it was produced. you know, was this produced in February 2021? No, it's still probably 6 months, just under the 6-month threshold for being live. You have the project information, staking contract, Scalebit, who the people we're looking at now. It was done over a period of 7 days. It's on the B2 network. The source code is here. The commits are here. You've got all of the details about the audit, which again, nobody really cares about, and it's not that super important. There is one critical, which has been fixed, one major, which has been fixed, 2 medium, of which 1 has been fixed, and 3 minor and 2 have been fixed. So in total, not a bad job. And this kind of goes down all of the different usage of the token, and we don't really need to see too much of this. It's not really massively important. But what is important is to understand that it's been done. What is important is the fact it's been published. So you can actually go, if you're a programmer and if you care, you can go and have a look at the audit. And that is all I'll pretty much say about that. We don't need to go and look at the audit in too much detail. What we're going to do now, though, is we're going to go and look at their socials, because, as I say, I've got that timer on the screen there that's got 19 minutes. The reason I do that is to make sure I stay with the pace of the stream. So I now know I've got 19 minutes to go through the socials and give you my conclusion. Had we done the team as well, we would probably by now be behind schedule. So there is always a method to the madness on this channel. And if you like madness, press the subscribe button and say hello in chat. That is all you have to do. If I go in here and I can see who is in here, you can see who is talking. Let me head over very quickly. I'm just going to double check GateIO's chat. I've been in there, but I don't want to switch the browser. Otherwise, we'll end up with Streamception, where you see a stream within a stream within a stream within a stream, and I don't want to do that. So let's very quickly go and have a quick look at what is being said. And if you've got any questions, you're on GateIO now. Good, which means you've signed up. If you've got any questions about this project, ask in chat. That is what we are here for. Okay? There we go. So I've just gone into the chat. I can see everybody that's in here. Hello, Zizo Crypto. Welcome to the stream. I hope you are well. Who else is here? Atacon, welcome. Mirth, hello. DU, Gate user. Who else? Must. There you all are. Right, I can see you. Remember, smash the like button and follow us. That's super important that you follow us, because the more you follow us, the more it makes me happy. Right then, UniRouter, empowering Bitcoin with next generation liquid staking. This is the link to the staking website, which we will go to in a minute. That is the Quest portal, which we will go to in a minute. There is the link that we've been on, 95,600 followers. Not a bad number of followers by all means. This is the staking website. Why can they not make these things dark mode? It is blinding. So you can stake your Bitcoin and you get your other Bitcoin out. I do not see what the rewards are or how you can claim them, but it is there. Okay, so that is where you go to stake your Bitcoin on this. And the wallet, it's got the B2 network wallet, the Tomo, the Bybit, the Unisat. There's a few wallets over there. Again, not a fan of the UI whatsoever. And this is the campaign. Earn Euro with social engagement. Sign up, engage, share and earn, and claim your rewards. Sign in with Twitter. I'm not going to do that right now, but you can earn the euro that you're about to be able to claim on GateIO in 2 days' time. And before we finish, I'm going to take you back to the startup section on GateIO and give you a little bit of a rundown. If you're wondering why my camera does that, if I do this, you see, we've got one of those snazzy cameras now that follows your head around. So you can see me moving. If I watch the camera, you see the camera follow me around. We are all about the tech on this channel today. So that's where you can go and claim that, which is a good thing. Let's go look at their socials. We have got 15 minutes left. Perfect. So the UniRouter tokenomics and TGE update. The TGE is the 15th of November, which is 2 days from now. Okay, I think when we looked at the GateIO, which we're going to go and do in a minute, that was a day and 19 hours. We're excited to announce our public IDO is now live on these different websites. These are different statistics than we've had previously. So the initial market cap is 525,000. The public round raise was 300,000. The TG will 50% unlocked at TG 6-month linear release. There is the tokenomics which we've already looked at. But I think the initial market cap of 525,000, I think that is super, super low. I'd expect this token to launch at maybe 10 to 15 million in that range. Maybe 10 if we see Bitcoin correct a little bit. 15 if we see Bitcoin pumping up. So I think it's a very, very conservative market cap. Okay, for what it's trying to do, this is super conservative. That, for me, is also a green flag because they're not coming out here and saying that the initial market cap is going to be $500 million and every token is going to be worth $10 and it drops to $1 the following day. So I think this is a very conservative way of looking at it. Bullish on Euro, but let the community know if there is any criteria for airdropped eligibility. Introducing video, but no, it's not to do that. Now, there was something I was going to show you, which is the GateIO thing on here. Hang on, 1 second. There we go. We're on the post itself. So there's the GateIO startup. Okay, there's the one. This is the one where there will be a 30,000 airdrop on GateIO. That's the one that we're talking about today. That's going to be live in less than 48 hours. Your notification sends you to here, which we're going to take you through in a minute. Repost to win $2,000. Enter here. There's your 2,000 giveaway for reposting that. And then over here, you have got the actual dates and times. Now, something really, again, important to bear in mind when you watch this on catch up, or you're watching me now on GateIO or on YouTube. Follow the projects. Follow UniRouter. Follow Gate Startup. Okay? Follow all of these different projects, because if you follow them, you're going to get notified when things like this happen. Look at the amount of money that GateIO gives away every month. Millions of dollars in startup tokens and airdrops every single month. Okay, we'll look at the stats in a minute to show you I'm not lying. Okay, but if you want to follow what UniRouter is up to, you follow them. Okay, we're not telling you to go and do this hour-long deep dive that we've just done for you. You can watch the highlights of it, watch it back. What I'm saying is these projects that come out, they might go to 0. They might go to 20 or 30x. I'm going to tell you what I think at the end of the video. So you can take my opinion for it, but if you follow them on Twitter and in 3 months' time, they start talking about Solana SVM or connecting up with Cardano or launching a DeFi platform that you didn't see in this video today, then you get a heads up on whether that token is going to pump or not. Okay? The video that we're making today is set in time, and it is set on the 13th of November. Anything that happens after the 13th of November, you can't come back to me and say, well, you said this was a great project and it's gone down, or you said this was a terrible project and it's gone up. If something happens in December or January with the new roadmap, you have to review it and then you have to return to it. That's why you should follow UniRouter. You should follow Gate Startup. It's not for me to follow every single project that you're interested in. It's for you to follow them. That is called doing your own research. And what is important here is it's got the times and the dates. So we are currently on the 2-day period where you hold $10 in spot and you can claim a lucky draw, or if you're VIP 3 or 4, I'm going to claim 200 shares of this token when it lands. The trading begins at 1 p.m. UTC on November the 15th, which I think is maybe 11 a.m. Central European time. And then there is a link to the article there. And there is the detail, initial offering from GateIO with everything you need. Okay, loads of people down here all commenting about how this is a good project. That can be taken with a pinch of salt, of course, because you can't trust people on the internet. You need to do your own research. But what I would say is this is a seriously decent looking project. There is UniRouter. November the 15th is going to be huge. While Jake Paul and Mike Tyson are about to rack up 60 million in the ring, Urge TG is ready to unleash massive gains in the crypto and DeFi world. I like that. That's a really, really good segue. Crypto markets are heating up, and mark your dates. Jake Paul, there you go. That is a solid fight for 60 million. 20 million to train for 6 months, get in a ring and spend 15 minutes in the ring. Again, that is solid. Again, the startup event is on here. 1.2 million tokens up for grabs for free. Join the startup. So what's good to see as well is that they are going and pushing the startup. So this is their big event. You don't see this with everybody, okay? Lots of people will do a multi-exchange launch and they won't focus too much. They'll go and launch it on, 7 of the top 10 on the same day. It gets diluted. It doesn't have the same feeling. You want to feel exclusive, in my opinion. So if you launch on GateIO and do the giveaways on GateIO, and you get the airdrops on GateIO, because it's good for your token to be associated with the GateIO community. It's also good for GateIO to have these exclusive giveaways. And that's what I like to see about some of these. Others we've looked at in the past, they've launched everywhere. And it's like, I understand why, for liquidity purposes, but it's not exclusive. And there's something nice about seeing different projects on here. So then, again, they start talking about this. Already, this was only 3 days ago, and we are just under 90,000. Bitcoin really did move that day, didn't it? Right, how long do we have left? I think that might be enough of the socials. So many people in GateIO chat. Say hello. Atacon has come back. Hello. Astounding River, nice name. Tunkit, nice name. I hope you are all doing well. I have got a couple of messages that I have picked out, which I will answer now. So if you give me a second, I'll go and answer those questions. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to take you back to the actual startup itself, show you that again, and then we're going to answer some of your questions. My ribs are absolutely killing me. Okay, so we are back. There we go. Okay. Right then, so this is the UniRouter page, which you can see here. I'll go through this in a minute. Right, let me answer some of your questions. Give me 1 second. That's on red for some reason. Don't know why. Okay, right. So then, the first question is, when is this going live? This will be live for trading in about 2 days' time. So 2 days, it will be live. So far, as you can see, 25,500 people have got involved with this. So that'll be 25,500 people sharing the 1.2 million euro that they're giving away. So I hope that answers your question. The second question is, what does it connect to? This is connecting Bitcoin to the EVM, the Ethereum virtual machine. And as I said before, this isn't going to solve everybody's woes in Bitcoin. This is going to enable Bitcoin to be used via the B2 network and UniRouter and used in DeFi or as collateral or whatever else it might be. So it's basically Bitcoin connecting up to Ethereum. That's the goal, okay? So I hope that answers your question. Right, we have got 6.5 minutes left to go through this and then give you my conclusion. And then we've run out of time, as always. As we do, we run out of time, do we not? Every single time we do one of these. So then, you come here very quickly from the beginning. You log into GateIO. You have this little flower, I suppose it's called, in the top corner here. It looks really complicated. It's not. What you care about is this one down here for live stream. You go there, you find Crypto Warehouse, and you follow us. This one is the exchange where you can trade. This one is the startup section. We go here. As I said to you 5 minutes ago, when I said that they give away millions of dollars a month. Look at the accumulated airdrops from GateIO. They've given away $120 million. They've given away $120